Good morning, the Honorable my examiners, Sir Hadiyanto, Ph.D. and Ma'am Failasofah, Ph.D. The Honorable my supervisors, Ma'am Dr. Nyimas Triyana Safitri, S.Pd, M.Ed, S.D. and Sir Dedy Kurniawan, SSMA. On this occasion, I would like to present my thesis proposal with the title Teacher Strategies in the Use of Online English Material, a case of an English teacher at SMA 10 Kota Jambi. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Christina Natalia Simarmata with my student number A1B218032. Let me start it. Chapter 1 Introduction. COVID-19 has shocked the world, including Indonesia. To prevent the widespread of COVID-19 in the school environment, the Ministry of Education and Culture, or Kemendikbud, issued several circulars in dealing with COVID-19. One of the discussions made by the Ministry of Education and Culture is to instruct teaching and learning activities from home. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the perspective of learning, from face-to-face to online learning. COVID-19 pandemic have become another big issue for education in Indonesia, including English education. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced of learning system to look the forms of innovation to process teaching and learning activities effectively. Learning innovation is needed to break the barriers of face-to-face learning to online learning. Teachers must be able to prepare effective learning strategies in the new normal era. In this condition, the teachers also have several problems in the developing and forming effective learning innovation, such as face-to-face learning. Teachers have problems about starting to adapt to this condition. Madeline in 2012 said, online learning tends to increase the pressure on students, teachers, and parents, especially due to the limited digital skills, education, and resources for continued education. Online learning not an easy thing, but the teachers must still teaching also with this condition. As a teacher must to design effective learning strategies by using many support media so the students are able to understand cognitively the material taught by the teacher. In reality, there are still many teachers who have not been able to take the advantage of use technology, so that it has been impact on the continuity of their teaching process. Amina said in 2020, online system can be done by the young teacher who are the technology savvy. However, this is not the case with the teacher who are not just learning by use technology. This is of course will be even more difficult. The existence of this obstacle will certainly heighten the improved online learning process like this, so it's not yet effective to implement. As a result, there will be a monotonous teaching process that may only use one platform, even though there are now a lot of available learning media that can be used. Accuracy in choosing online learning media will be indirectly have an impact on the attracting student interest. Choosing the wrong strategy will make the student bored with the out classroom learning and various other bad effects. Amina said if the teacher wrong to choose the strategy, the material presented is not fully understood by the students because the students feel confused in accepting the material presented by the teacher. If we are wrong in arranging the teacher method, it will be also hamper the teacher's process to stimulate the students. So, it's very important for the teachers now with a various knowledge how to use technology in teaching, selecting materials, choosing strategy according to their needs. If everything has been done with the truth, so the class will be very fun, interested. So, if the teacher chooses the wrong strategy, the student will be feel bored, but The selection of the right strategy is the main key to the current of the use online materials. From the explanation, the study will be find out the way how teacher strategies to use online English material apply in SMA Negeri 10 Kota Jambi. Specification in researcher intends to know teacher strategies to selecting materials and some challenges they have in teaching English during pandemic. Research questions. Based on the problem above, the question of this research are: first, what are the online English material using and selecting at SMA 10 Kota Jambi? Second, what is teacher strategies in the using online English material to support English teaching at SMA 10 Kota Jambi? Third, what is teachers' problems in using online English material and how they find the alternative as a solution? Next, purpose and significance of this research. The purpose of this research is to describe online English material use and the strategies used by English teacher at SMA Negeri 10 Kota Jambi. And it also to describe some problems they have during use online English material and then what they are find out the alternative as a solution. Next, significance of this research. The findings of this study are expected to be useful for several parts: teachers, pre-service teachers, and school. For the teacher, of course, this research very useful. This research will be increase the knowledge about the strategies teacher to apply to able the properly the online English material, which is to support English teaching in this pandemic. And then to pre-service teacher, this research very useful. It will be can increase the knowledge before they go to be a teacher in reality. And then to the school will be can improve what the problem or increase their knowledge about their system during pandemic. Okay, next to the chapter 2, review of related literature. In this chapter, the researcher take a two big point is material and then the online learning. In material, such as the definition, principle of selecting material, types of material, and then the basic concept of using material. But in material have a two point. Authentic material with the definition, types, authentic material, and then selecting authentic material, and then the last is advantage and disadvantage. And then the second is created material with the definition and then the advantage and disadvantage. And then next to the second point in this chapter is online learning. Online learning with the definition and the issue in online learning. And the last is the challenges in use online English learning. Okay, next to the chapter 3 or research methodology. This research used qualitative approach with a case study as a design. Creswell in 2012 said that qualitative research is used to investigate problems to get a clear understanding of certain phenomena. Creswell also to define that a case study as a developing an in-depth analysis of a case or some cases and one of approach which mostly used by the people in qualitative research. So, the case in this research is about how the teacher designed English by online learning in SMA 10 Kota Jambi. Research site and access. The site for this research is at SMA Negeri 10 Kota Jambi. And then the participation for this research is an English teacher at SMA Negeri 10 Kota Jambi. Researcher has been accessed because the researcher graduated from this school in 2018. Automatically, the researcher knows some of the strategies used by English teacher in SMA Negeri 10 Kota Jambi. Next, technique of data collection. Data collection is the important step of this research. It aims to collect some information that the researcher needs to acknowledge about the research problem. Creswell in 2009 said that data collection is the series of intensive activities aimed to gathering good information to answer emerging research questions. This research is qualitative research. Therefore, the data type is audio recording. So, to collecting this research, the researcher will be record everything as evidence the result of this research. But to collect the data, the researcher has the protocol. First, the researcher will be asking permission with the participation in this research. And then, the researcher will be to prepare interview protocol. Then, next, conduct semi-structured interview. And then the last, the researcher will be analyzes the data that had been transcribed. So, that's all the technique of data collection in this research. Technique of data analysis. After collecting the data from the participation, the researcher will to the next level or next step, namely is data analysis technique. This data analysis technique is the stage of processing the data that has been collected with the follow several process, such as first, transcription. The data collection technique in this research is by interview. The interview has been recorded by the audio and will be followed by an audio transcription stage. Transcription is the activity of transcribing from the audio to the written form. All audio recording must be transcribed verbatim. Second, pre-coding and coding. After transcribe the data will be coding. Data coding, an important role in the data analysis process and determine the quality of data abstraction from the research result. Coding in qualitative research can be classified based on the stage and based on the coding segment of the data. Third, timing. Timing refers to drawing together the code from one or more transcript to present the finding of qualitative research in a coherent and meaningful way. So, in timing, the researcher will be analysis by the same technique one by one each other to collecting together. Fourth, adding narrative. Adding narrative is also the stage of qualitative data analysis technique. Presentation of the data is an activity when the data is arranged systematically and easily accessible. The providing of the possibility of the generating conclusion. The form of the presentation of qualitative data can be in the form of narrative text. The last is conclusion and data verification. Conclusion drawing and data verification is the final stage in qualitative data analysis technique that are carried out to see the result of data reduction, still referred to the analysis objective to be accepted. The stage aims to define the meaning of data collected by looking the relationship, similarities or differences of to drawing conclusion as answer the existing problem. To do the verification of the analysis by the researcher, one way this be done by peer debriefing or member checking and peer checking. The researcher will be use member checking and peer checking to verification the analysis by the researcher. Trustworthiness. Several measures ensure the trustworthiness of the data collecting. Okay, in this trustworthiness, the researcher will be do several steps. The researcher will be recorded the interview to collect the data, and then the data will be transcribed. After that, the data will be given back to the participation, and then the data will be revised based on the feedbacks before being analyzed. And the last, the paper will be given to the supervisor to get some evaluation about the analysis. So, I think that's all about my presentation in my thesis proposal with the title Teacher Strategies in the Use of Online English Material, a case of an English teacher at SMA 10 Kota Jambi. If there are some mistake, I'm sorry sir, ma'am. Thank you.